type of person.
Okay.
Somebody that may not be as down to earth and only look for things that identify based on standard of whatever standard they set. There are different levels to this. It's not all the same.
Okay.
And so for us, it's really about personality.
Okay, that makes sense.
And background. It really is. So you can definitely have people, you know, who are like for it and some who are not. But for the most part, people are open. It's really about the personal experience.
Right.
So what do you think are some of the do's and don'ts of interracial dating?
Ooh, okay, you should probably research the culture,
The
language, the, what else?
I did. I entertained this Muslim guy one time.
Oh.
And so I had to do a lot of research. It was kind of fun, though. There were some beautiful takeaways. I learned a lot of great things. And he was a lot of fun, too. Okay. So, yeah. So I'm with, been there, like to have a little fun, you know. Yeah. I laugh now and say that I have two Asian boyfriends.
Okay.
But I don't. They're just my friends, but they're sweet, and I tell both their partners they have to share them with me because they're so sweet, and we're such good friends.
Okay.
And so, which is hilarious.
I've dated a Vietnamese guy before.
Yeah, listen, I got a couple of Asian friends right now, and they all need to date women of color. I'm telling you, because their personalities are so big and so fun, it would be more fitting for their personalities.
Okay.
But even in their culture, they were telling me, like, Crystal, our culture, like, if you're not dating within the culture, that's like, and they'll accept it, but then it depends on the caliber of the person.
Oh.
That's a big thing.
Okay.
You can't just go get anybody. You can't go get, I don't know, Sarah that works at Walmart and that's her thing and she loves being top flight cashier of the world. No offense, Sarah, whoever you are, wherever you are in the world, I don't even know you, but you know. And they were like, we can't do that because in our culture, you're supposed to have worked in these industries.
Oh.
Medical, legal, things like that, They said that it is frowned upon if you don't have a career that is one that is, respected.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Kind of, yeah, right? Yeah. Basically what they're saying is they don't want their children, being poor and marrying other poor people and creating a poor, situation. And,
You're stuck in a situation where...
That's shitty.
Yeah.
And so when you hear it from that perspective, even though it doesn't sound kind, people are like, well, that means money is everything. I mean, a little bit. But also it means that they don't want to create a cycle of struggle, right? So it means if the two people get together, open a restaurant, still in their culture, that's not to be respected. The only way it's going to be respected is once it becomes successful. But we all know that takes time, right? Absolutely. Human being to human being. So different strokes for different folks, but I don't know. I would think rule number 1, learn the culture.
Absolutely.
Rule number 2, adapt. For example, for those of y'all who love black people, because it's a lot to love, what can we say? Once you get to procreating with us, you need to learn about how to do our hair.
Oh, that's a big one.
Stop making these curly hair kids and you don't know what the hell to do with it. It's bullshit. Yeah. Like, we look at you and we look at the kid and we look at you like, you need some moisturizer? Because it's looking real dry over there. We don't like that. We don't like that at all. We will talk about you internally. Like, this is some bullshit. Because, and then don't tell our kids, your kids, because they ours too, that, like, don't say things like, oh, she just has, or he has crazy hair. Or their hair is like a bird's nest. Or I don't know what to do with it. What's it? What is it?
Oh, that's going to be aggravating.
We will come unglued culturally. We can't stand that. Okay. Because people love to make children with us because, of course, they get these beautifully melanated children of different shades. But they forget that what comes with that, and also what comes with that, is that the world sees them as how they look. They don't see them as half and half of this, a piece of that, a fourth of that. They just see them as how they present. Sure. And so if you don't edify that within them, when they get out in the world, they become so confused. I cannot tell you how many people I went to college with who were biracial and who struggled.
Their hair.
Struggle with everything. They struggle with their identity. If they didn't have a parent that, not saying they forced them, but I've even seen non-parents of color be great about this, who's like, look, I might be your white mom and this might be your black dad, or that might be your Hispanic mom and that is your black dad. When people look at you, they see a black person. They don't see the rest. So therefore, you need to know this, and they would teach them and walk them through it and tell them to moisturize their hair, and they would baby them and nurture them in those beautiful ways. And the person was more well-rounded for it because the world's going to see them that way. So it's not even you hiding it. And I'm not saying you have to water down the other side either. They need to also be aware of that. Whatever their other side of their family is. But don't try to minimize the other sides of it because it does not work out well. They end up dating people they can't relate to. There's that one story about the girl whose mom lied and told her that she was half Italian or Jewish, Italian. She was in a Jewish family, but she was raised, she was Italian, an Italian Jew. Okay. And then really, that's why your skin is a little browner than the rest of ours. Long story short, grown woman, somewhere between like 30s and 40s. Actually, her birth father was black. Her mom didn't lie.
Oh my God.
And the reason why her skin was browner than everybody else was because she was the more Italian one in the family. Girl, she did a DNA test, wrote a book, has a podcast. Oh, her story, there's a movie, phenomenal. It was a documentary. And she was talking about how her whole life when she went to school, she didn't match. Her hair didn't match. Her skin was slightly too brown. Like, things didn't make sense. She didn't have the same features as the people in her family. Okay. And how confusing it was and how it made dating hard. Because she kept trying to date people that looked more like her family, which were predominantly all white people. Oh, okay. And so she couldn't always relate to their culture. Like, she could relate because she was raised in it, but it didn't feel authentic. And finally she did a DNA test. And she had to go back and talk to her mother and say, why didn't you tell me? But the mom didn't want to be caught.
That is so shocking.
Yeah. So, hey, I went to school with a girl like that. She dyed her hair very, very blonde. She kind of played off as, being as passing as white. And it wasn't but a handful of us. And one day I stopped her and I was like, hey, where you from? And she said where she was from here in the state. And then I said, when are you going to tell them that you're black? And that's what she did. She said, I said, you're not going to tell them? She said, I can't. And then one day her parents came on campus. Her mom was this little bitty, petite little white lady, and then her dad was this really tall, huge, fluffy afro. Like it floated, I could see him walking now. It floated in the air. It was so beautiful. Crystal. And her mom and her dad were walking, and the mom was slightly ahead of the dad, and that was her father. And she told her dad, can you go back? Like, can you go sit in the car? And it was so sad because she said, I don't want to lose all my white friends.
What?
And I'll lose all of them if they find out that I'm black. I said, well, if they had a tablespoon of common sense, they could look at your face and tell you're black because we all know you're black. We immediately saw it, like, you're black. When are you going to tell them? You have long, long, long hair to your elbows, and it spirals and coils. You just dye it blonde and put a lot of hair gel on it. Your nose is round. Your cheekbones are high. Your lips are thick.
So she had all the features. And
your
everything.
roots are 4C, sis. Like, how long you gonna keep lying to these people? And why do they walk with you like this? Like, it was just so strange.
That is so
we were
strange.
Like, watching it was strange. Because it was like, that was so weird. But her heart broke. She cried. She was like, please don't tell them. I will lose everything. And it was sad to hear her feel like her identity was wrapped in that. Because we were at an expensive college. Yeah. It was private. She just really felt like she needed to blend in by looking more like the other people and even to disregard her family. And that just tells you a lot. Yeah. So I think like there are do's and don'ts to dating people respectfully, Yeah. Yeah, like, when you date in certain cultures, there are things we like to do. Like, what about you guys? Like, y'all have any like, for example, like how you dress? Like, is there any rules to this? Is there like a cultural difference?
When you go on a date?
What you wear, period. Like in our culture, it's time to dress up.
Oh, it's always time to dress up.
Christmas, Thanksgiving, we get dressed up in the living room.
Things.
Yeah, all the events.
Right.
Yeah. So you guys too?
Yes.
So could you date could you easily date like an average Joe looking kind of guy who like?
Probably not. If they're not clean and pressed, it's not gonna go long. What?
Clean and pressed?
Yeah. You want someone with oily hair.
But see, oily hair is not necessarily bad. It would just depend on his background.
Well, I was thinking of a white guy,
Okay, what if he's what if he's not white? What if he's some other type of individual? Another ethnicity.
Well, another ethnicity, I mean, people most usually likely click because they're on the same level of professionalism, cleanliness.
Not the cleanliness. Oh, what she's trying to say is that sometimes other cultures don't wash right, and we don't like that.
That's pretty much it.
So we're going to need you to hit that soap and water real
pretty
hard
much.
With a rag, a loofah, or some type of exfoliating soapy style cleansing agent and support. Yeah.
All the things. Like, that's so important. You can't show up with a person that's not to that standard to mom and dad, to meet mom and dad.
Agreed. I also feel like Like, I've seen some really beautiful combinations, like Hispanic people that date Native American people. That's a beautiful combo. Beautiful
I
combination.
love black people with Mexicans. The Mexican babies.
Mexicans are nice.
Ooh, yeah.
Black and Guatemalan, black and Honduran, black and Venezuelan. That's pretty.
Yeah.
You know what? Black mixed with anything comes out beautiful. I don't know what to tell the rest of y'all, but real talk,
The
it's just the
skin
truth.
tones.
It is. Now,
That's
black and
beautiful.
Samoan. Now, listen, that right there, if there's one group that might want to hold up, it's them. Because y'all make some big-ass babies together. Like,
I didn't even
huge,
think about that. You're right.
massively huge people. Like, back home in Houston, we have quite the culture. And the black and
Well, there's a
Samoan
lot of
culture,
mixture in Houston, yeah.
yeah, which is similar anyway, because Samoans are
Sure.
still part African too, so they're, you know, a combination. But when you mix us with them, it's like,
Oh wow.
why is the baby lifting the coffee table at 4? Why they so strong? What y'all feed them? Why they so solid? The police won't even come if you call them. Samoans, oh no. Oh no, you don't believe me? Look it up.
No, I
Historically in
believe
LA, in Samoan communities, when they have problems, they gotta
Yeah.
solve their own problems. Because police do not want to show up to wrestle them. Because baby, who
Right.
gonna lose? The cops. Y'all about to wear Chad's ass out.
Literally.
So we're not gonna do that. But yeah,
The strength is too powerful.
yeah, that's a strong one.
Ooh.
Yeah. So you know, it's like some things I don't know.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But yeah, there are a lot of different combinations of people I think are beautiful together. And what I really want most, I want people to find people that love them for who they are, have great character,
Absolutely.
treat them with respect, treat their families and their cultures with respect, and raise young people that are, in my opinion, like really self-aware of who they are and the beauty of both of their cultures. And how they present is unfortunately how you're going to have to raise them to accept and to know. Because if not, you're doing such a disservice. You're doing a disservice.
That's
I've seen it too many times. So, you know, do date. But don't play these games. Don't be out here ashy. Don't be out here not eating the food.
Yeah, they'll be making faces. Right.
Not
That
the
is so rude.
faces. Yeah.
I've
Like
seen it happen.
Yeah, one of my Asian friends said he told his wife, who was not Asian, that when it's time to serve tea, you have to serve it. It's my culture, like, as the woman, you're the host, and you have to serve the tea. And she was like, but I don't want to. He said it doesn't matter.
Oh.
If you don't, the backlash I'll receive.
Oh.
That's what y'all better learn. You better learn your people.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta learn these things, these cultural.
Do your
norms.
homework.
Yeah, you gotta. do
Yeah,
that.
even if they don't think it's important, in respect to their family, do it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like in their cultures too, like they don't shake hands with women.
Mm.
So you gotta learn all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
depending on on what ethnic group they're from. Yeah.
In our culture, I told you we either shake hands and kiss on the cheek, or hug and kiss on the cheek.
Oh yeah.
So you gotta learn that stuff.
In our culture, you have to speak when you enter a room.
Oh.
Hey, how y'all doing? And you can't be like nervous about hi. They're like, what's wrong? What's wrong with him
and
and
you
her?
gotta say hi, like shake everyone's hand when you enter a room.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all gotta do that?
Mm-hmm. You have to speak to everybody.
You have to speak to everyone.
Even-
And when you leave too. You
And
gotta do
when
it,
you
gotta-
leave.
gotta do the whole
And when
round.
you leave, don't you? They just walked out and didn't say nothing.
No,
Like, yeah,
no,
you get talked about.
You can't do that.
We can't do that.
Right.
It's a no-go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that it's important that you learn those things, even like the foods. Even the
for sure.
foods. Like when I'm having gatherings or other groups, I'm like, hey, what would your culture like to eat? Or what are some foods you would like to see?
Right.
Because I want to be immersed and I want you and your family to feel very comfortable. And
You're
what's the most,
welcome.
welcome. Like what's the most authentic place you want to get that from? Because listen, I can't make that. Y'all gonna make it and bring it?
Right.
No, you're not, because you're my guest? Okay. Well, can you tell me where to go pick it up at? The best place that you would love to have it from?
Right.
And so I feel like that's what you got to do when you care about people and you want to be a part of their lives. You bring beauty together. Build something beautiful. Yeah. So that's all we have for y'all today on
Bodaciously
Black.
And brown.
Peace out, guys.